From News Channel 15, you're watching News Channel 15 Tonight with Kyle Peach. This is News Channel 15 Tonight.
Hi, good evening, and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Kyle Peach. Here's a look at what's going on. Circuit Judge Denton Aud has rejected an agreement that would have allowed first-degree murder suspect Kane Nino of Fairfield to be released from jail under pretrial conditions. WFIW says Judge Aud struck down the deal yesterday reached between Nino's defense attorney Roger White and Wayne County State's Attorney Kyle Ellis. The judge noted that Attorney Ellis had previously argued successfully that Nino should not be granted pretrial release. Nino's attorney also requested a temporary furlough so that Nino could attend his grandfather's funeral this weekend in Joliet. However, Judge Aud denied that request as well. Nino is accused of causing the death of 57-year-old Curtis D. Sutton of Fairfield. Authorities allege Nino body slammed Sutton during an altercation on or about March 20th. Sutton later became ill, sought medical treatment, was hospitalized in Evansville, where he fell into a coma and died a week later. The Vanderburgh County coroner determined that Sutton died from injuries sustained in that alleged attack. Nino remains in the Wayne County Jail. His trial is set to begin October 14th. Jennifer Mudge has been appointed the special prosecutor in the Chet Snyder sexual abuse case in Wayne County. WFIW says Snyder, the head volleyball coach at Frontier Community College, has been formally charged with aggravated criminal sexual abuse, unlawful restraint, and providing alcohol to a minor. He's accused of having unlawful sexual contact with two males, one of which was a juvenile at the time of the alleged incident. Mudge is a former assistant state's attorney with the Madison County State's Attorney's Office and currently serves as a prosecutor with the Illinois Appellate Prosecutor's Office. Wayne County State's Attorney Kyle Ellis recused himself from the matter. Snyder remains free on electronic monitoring pending arraignment October the 7th in Wayne County Circuit Court. The Wabash County Sheriff's Office needs your help to solve a criminal damage to property case. Back on September 5th, officers responded to the report that someone had used a chainsaw to cut out a 3-foot section of a Mount Carmel Public Utility Company utility pole on North 1900 Boulevard just east of 850 Road, causing over $1,500 in damage. Sheriff Derek Morgan calls it an extremely dangerous act, as the guilty party could have injured themselves or others. Anyone with information leading to an arrest in that case will receive a $500 cash reward. You can call Crime Stoppers at 618-262-HALT or send your tip through the Wabash County Sheriff's app. You can remain anonymous as well. Meanwhile, Mount Carmel City officials remind you to lock your vehicles. The warning comes from Police Chief Mike McWilliams, who at this week's City Council meeting said even after 2 juveniles were arrested last week in connection to separate vehicle break-ins, there were more reports on Monday. WSJD reports that McWilliams said if you find out that someone had entered your vehicle illegally but didn't take anything, you still should report it to city police to help them as they investigate. McWilliams said there have been no reports of forcible entry into vehicles, saying that unlocked doors have made it easy for thieves to enter. The National Transportation Safety Board has released its final report on the crash east of Teotopolis that led to a release of anhydrous ammonia back in September of 2023. The incident resulted in 5 fatalities, serious injuries to 9 people, and minor injuries to 4 others. The NTSB determined the probable cause of the roadway departure and overturning of the combination vehicle was the unsafe passing maneuver by a teen driver that caused the combination vehicle driver to initiate an evasive action, resulting in loss of the vehicle's control and then the rollover. Contributing to the severity of the crash was the subsequent impact of the overturned cargo tank with a parked utility trailer, resulting in the release of the anhydrous ammonia. WAKO reports the Lawrenceville City Council met in special session Monday, approving a resolution to implement a city employee return to work policy. That policy covers all city workers who are injured on the job and then are assigned light duty work while they recover in order to return to their full-time post. The past policy process was never spelled out in detail and was needed in writing by the city for insurance purposes. The resolution does not affect the city police department, though, who are represented in union negotiation. It does go into effect, though, immediately. In what's called a win for the Illinois Municipal Electric Agency, a spokesperson for the nonprofit Action Agency says member municipalities, including Carmi, Fairfield, and Flora in our area, will see an overall savings of $33.6 million on their power bills over the next decade. WRUL reports that that's due to IMEA successfully refinancing bonds. IMEA is a wholesale electric supplier for 32 municipally owned utilities throughout the state. IMEA says each city will see a portion based on their energy use and demand, and of the savings, that will equate to about $3.4 million per municipality annually. Illinois Secretary of State and State Librarian Alexi Giannoulias has announced funding for library services and literacy programs across Illinois. Locally, under the 2026 Adult Literacy Grants, Frontier Community College will receive just over $81,000. Wabash Valley College in Mount Carmel will receive some $35,000 for its radio information service. Meanwhile, in other state news, the State Board of Education has voted to adopt new performance levels and proficiency benchmarks for statewide assessments. That's a move that will change how students' achievement is measured in English, math, and science, as well as readiness for college. Under those new standards, more students will be categorized as proficient. For example, a third grader currently needs to score 750 out of 850 on the math assessment to meet proficiency. The new benchmark will lower that requirement to 732. The revised cut scores would increase the share of students labeled as proficient to 53% in English language arts and 38% in math, up from 41% and 28% respectively last year. Supporters of the change argue the adjustment provides a more accurate reflection of student learning, but Republican officials across the state are pushing back, claiming lowering standards is not the right approach for Illinois schools. The new benchmarks will take effect with the next round of state testing. The Albion Area Chamber of Commerce hosts its annual Artisan Festival Saturday from 10 to 4 at the Courthouse Square in Albion, featuring the Albion Chowder, artisan and food vendors, the singing blacksmith, the Edwards County Paint Out, the Artisans Brick Run 5K and 10K races, a raising a flag ceremony, and more. You can find more information on that at albionareachamber.org. The Fairfield Fall Fun Fest is underway tonight with a community worship service kicking off the event. Thursday is the F&B 5K run. Registration there at 4:30, the race at 6. The Wayne County Arts Alliance will display Lucas Gifford's work with music by Jim McGill and Connor Atterbury with local painters outside RJ on Main. The Fun Fest Prince and Princess contest starts at 5:30. The Miss Fall Fun Fest pageant is at 7:30 Thursday night. Find more on the Fairfield Fall Fun Fest Facebook page. More to come. A look at your forecast is next. Then we'll talk sports. Stay with us.
At Wabash General Hospital, we're more than healthcare. We are part of the team. Our athletic trainers proudly serve 13 area high schools and 3 junior colleges, standing on the sidelines and in the AT rooms every day. From keeping our athletes healthy to helping them chase their dreams, we're here for every student athlete, every game, every step of the way, from injury to return to play. At Wabash General Hospital, caring for athletes is our game.
Introducing the Student Plus account from First National Bank, a free checking account designed for students and parents alike. With Student Plus, parents stay in control with real-time alerts and spending limits, while students learn to manage money safely and independently. Instant transfers, lost card protection, and customizable features make banking simple for the whole family. Getting started is easy. Just visit any First National Bank of Allendale branch with your student, set up mobile banking, and choose the features that work best for you. Student Plus accounts with First National Bank. Parents choose the controls, students learn responsibility.
Welcome back. Time for weather here tonight. More of the same today as we've seen earlier this week. Hot, dry conditions, but again, rain chances are on the way. Clear out there tonight on radar, nothing to speak of. Another warm one though. This afternoon, we topped out at 91 degrees. 62 was our cooler low. We got closer to normal on the low side, but still well above normal for the high side. Missed the record by 5 degrees today, that record of 96. Looking at the maps in motion here tonight, you're going to see, again, rain staging out here to our west as we put them in motion, but not a whole lot moving our way. That ridge of high pressure just locked in over the top of us, keeping any of that precipitation from forcing its way through. But we do think that that will eventually change as we move toward the weekend. As we see on Friday, a few more clouds building in, the rain holding off though back to the west. We think into Saturday, maybe later into Sunday. Best chance for rain may come Monday and Tuesday before we finally maybe bust through the dry conditions. Clear skies, low 60s tonight region-wide, 60 up in Newton, 59 in Flora, 59 also in Salem for lows tonight. As we move into tomorrow, sunny, warm conditions, low 90s region-wide, 94 in McLeansboro, 93 for Mount Carmel. And then into Thursday night, into Friday morning, more of the same. Clear skies, low 60s out there. Looking at 63 for Olney and Lawrenceville, also for Albion and 62. The forecast low Thursday night in Fairfield. On Friday, maybe a little cooler, at least in some locations, but the warm spot on the map for the high on Friday, 94 in Carmi, 92 in Albion, 91 up in Newton. Finally, a cool down and some rain. It looks like we'll hold off until Saturday. The chances get a little bit better. It looks like Saturday we may not see any rain, in fact, until Saturday night. That would continue into Sunday. Best chance of rain right now looks to be Monday and Tuesday, but isolated chances at least in the forecast Saturday right through Wednesday. And note the temperatures cooling into the upper to middle 80s next week. That's your forecast. We'll talk sports next.
Drive into fall at Steve Faulkner Automotive. Lease a 2025 Escape for as low as $399 a month and get a new 2024 F-150 up to $13,733 off. See them all at SteveFaulknerAutomotive.com. Lease your new 2024 Hornet at Steve Faulkner Automotive before the end of the month. Now is your best deal. Lease the 2024 Hornet for 2 years, 10,000 miles per year for only $19.39 a month. See Steve Faulkner Auto for details today.
You need to be mindful that when you're out, maybe doing a little tree pruning or shaping, or kids climbing in the tree, building tree houses, whatever, look up, make sure there's no power lines in or near the area. And even after the storm or after a wind event or something like that, where a limb may be falling down or hanging in the tree, make sure to look and there's no utility lines near that. And if there is, call us. We'll come take care of it. We'll get that down. We'll get things cleared up.
Welcome back. It's time now to talk sports. We begin with girls high school volleyball. Salem beat Olney last night 2-0. Carmi beat Mount Vernon. Hamilton County beat El Dorado. Newton beat Charleston. Oblong beat Flora, all 2-0. Robinson beat Red Hill 2-1. Wayne City over Sandoval 2-0. And NCOE beat Marion 2-0. Girls golf yesterday, the defending state champion Mount Carmel Lady Aces continue to roll. They won at home yesterday, beating Fairfield 140-203. Newton had no team score. The Lady Aces Miley Kennard, the medalist, at 33. Meanwhile, the Mount Carmel boys also won at home with a 154. Newton second at 162. Fairfield third at 176. The Aces Hatcher Knipe, the medalist, at 37. At Lawrenceville boys action, Olney first at 154. Lawrenceville Red Hills second at 160. NCOE third at 164. Olney's Reese Glover, the medalist, at 34. The Olney girls won at Robinson, beating OPH 207-217. Oakland and Altamont, no team scores. Olney's Caitlin Bookout was the medalist at 45. At El Dorado, Hamilton County beat El Dorado 143-148 on the boys' side. The Foxes' Ethan Kessler and Cohen White tied for medalist at 35, while the Lady Foxes also beat El Dorado 177-186. One boys' score yesterday, Mount Vernon beat Salem 156 to 159. And boys high school soccer yesterday, Effingham beat Newton 6-2 the final. And in girls tennis yesterday, it was Newton over Fairfield 7-2. That does it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Kyle Peach. From all of us at News Channel 15, have a great night.